Alright guys, here we're talking about episode 32, season 3 of the Twilight Zone. This episode is kind of boring.
Kind of a dud.
Kind of a dud.
I'm very glad. I was worried I was going to have to like defend my dislike of this episode to you for an hour. It was going to be a really awkward conversation.
It seemed like they went a direction that was a little bit more boring than they could have done. That might have made this an interesting episode. So there's a weird like white guy who's an alien, and he crash lands in Mexico. And his crash landing brings to, are they federales? Is that what you call police in Mexico? Whatever. There are two police officers.
So much of this is so butchered, yeah.
Find him. There's a scuffle. One of them gets shot and dies. As he runs off, the other cop shoots him. Yeah. And then he finds his way into a town where a little boy, a bartender, and a doctor, see him. And
yeah, no,
it's just boring.
And like he has this like gift for mankind, but they burned it in their like I can't even say it without
in the worst way that it's just plot like serving.
Super bad.
Like it's not a natural act.
Burn it, like lay the torch on it, so we can only read half of it later. Like
why would you entrust a boy like I have a gift for you? Give that to the doctor. Just give it to the doctor. The doctor's in there with you. Like,
no, I know. Like it was so forced, and
while they are thinking you're a villain, maybe say, "Hey, look, I'm not a villain." Like
yeah, they have the crowd like shouting things. It is the work of the devil. Burn it or whatever. Like,
he's going for the boy. He couldn't have been farther from the boy.
Yeah.
There was no danger whatsoever, and they lay this man down with bullets.
That had hallmarks to me of being like saved in like editing. Like we didn't really have this, so we kept cutting to the other shot and then cutting to close-ups of the crowd shouting. The crowd of like 7 people. It was just really, and again, like it can be cheap. I'll watch a Twilight Zone that only has 2 actors in like a room. That's fine. We can use acting to make things good. But the cheapness of this and the shittiness of how it came together, I was just really like, by the end I was like, oh my god. Because on paper too, this is the most like standard, and again, maybe not for the time, but it's the most standard plot ever. Oh, we came in peace, but we left in pieces. Can't believe mankind is the real enemy, and I'll pepper in some Jesus stuff for no reason. Oh my god, I hated this episode so much.
Yeah, no, this was kind of
sorry.
This is on my list of like the duddier of episodes.
Yeah, it's a super dud.
I think you could have had a lot of fun things here if he would have actually turned out to be an alien-looking thing and not just been a human. I think that's a lot of the why did they fear and mistrust this man so much? And yes, like a police officer did die, so like that does make sense.
I know, yes.
But if he would have just talked, it would have been his word versus that guy's word. He might have spent the rest of his life in jail, but they shot him down because he was an alien, but he didn't look like an alien, didn't seem monstrous, didn't do anything that would make you think he has any powers.
So, like, I also thought the kid was going to come into play, or, like, he was going to be an alien, because they set up where, like, we don't even know where he came from. He doesn't go to school. He's weird. He's never smiling. And I'm like, that's perfect, or whatever. Or it's just, like, the Steven Spielberg thing where, like, he can connect with the alien because they're both weird or whatever. And they do that a little. I hate giving them credit for, like, the worst, like, pathetic, barest attempt at doing something. But they do that a little. But, yeah, like, the bartender. So, I like how shitty the bartender is. And the whole Judas thing was actually like funny. I like because he's like counting the coins and all. Okay, that's pretty good. And the doctor was like a solid old timey actor from that time. His delivery was cool, and I liked his lines and all that stuff. But geez, besides that, the whole thing, he attacks the guy. The guy's scared of him before he even sees him. I guess because he just assumes he's the random murderer.
Yeah, they see that guy, and he's just a guy in a poncho, and they're like terrified. So you think it's gonna be an alien-looking dude.
Yeah, and they don't show his face. Yeah, and then it's like, are they terrified of him because he's a random milquetoast white guy? Because half of the Mexican people are white guys. This is the the 60s. People are not like really entrenched. They're not all speaking Spanish. Right? There's random little Spanish words here and there. I hate this episode so much.
I liked when they smashed the bottle on the bartender's head because I'm like, he should be dead. The amount of things people get. You're like, pick up a wine bottle.
Yeah.
They're heavy as fuck.
And
You're
like,
clubbing somebody with a club.
Yeah. I have to
whether it breaks or not.
I know.
No, it's just funny because I'm like, there's a doctor right there. He should tell you.
He should say, don't do that.
Yeah.
No, I know. And like that's like we're down to to that level of like nitpickery because the episode is like substandard and all that stuff, right? We set up all this stuff that it was a creature, the darkness attacked him, this whole thing.
Yeah.
So you think something's gonna happen? Like why doesn't he bust that out at the end or whatever, right?
Well, that's what I thought. He was a creature that took a human form that you would then see a creature again, but apparently he never did any of that, or maybe he did and you just maybe he didn't.
it's entirely plausible, almost like it's powder or something, right? Where like it's entirely plausible that those things never happened as far as the characters are concerned. The cop was just scared or whatever, right? It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Let me just peruse my notes, make sure nothing
Kinda
else
lame.
happened that I'm missing. Yeah, lame.
I wanted more to that. Yeah, the boy, like you said, like there's a setup there that makes you think something great's gonna happen, and that gift. It just seemed awkward to give to the boy.
It's a cure
for all cancer.
Like, why would you have to write that down? Why does he freak out because you burn it? Doesn't he know the formula? Maybe he has like another copy somewhere? Is it really like just written on like a weird flammable tablet from space?
Yeah.
Is that how you do things? I shouldn't be worried about this stuff. The episode or like movie or like whatever should dazzle me to the point where I just eat up all this shit and I love it and it's great. But this left me just being like, ugh, what? And all that stuff.
Yeah. It should have ended with his people going, "You murdered our ambassador," and they send a war colony.
Yeah, I mean, like, the core of this idea, the alien comes in peace and he's misunderstood because mankind is the real monster, and you thought he was a monster just because he looked like a big bug, but he's not a monster. Like, you're the monster. That's, like, the most basic thing ever. All I can hope is that in the 60s it was not as played out, but I think even by then, right, Isaac Asimov and H.G. Wells and all that shit, like, this is, like, a normal thing that people should like, know about or whatever. So I can't even give it like the shock value time travel like treatment, right? I just think this is lame.
No, yeah. All right, so that's this disappointing episode of the Twilight Zone. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.